Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
Tuloy-tuloy live selling, tuloy-tuloy content, tuloy-tuloy gaming. With new Smart All Access 99. May 9 gig ka, now for 15 days. Load now, live more today, and tomorrow, and after, and the day after.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Target on the move. Prepare to engage.
May the Force be with you.
Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas kahit anong lane, we become the monsters. Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas face the golden sun and ribbon for the 3 stars. Look at us to the top, no ifs, no buts. Winning any game, para to sa PINAS. Di mo matitinag aming boses sa new level. Nasa kalye man o mobile window, I become a legend. Open fire, we unite, we winners. Built with pressure, like diamonds are made of. Switch na lane na parang gera. HP racing, may reset. Built na katang buhat ni Hilda. Full load SS, parang Lyra. Susundan ko ang iyong bakas. Kasama patas, tagumpay natin to. Dahil tayo'y kami ang malakas para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow! Hold on. Yeah, wala kasang Pinas. Laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Pag nagsama-sama, just imagine what we can achieve. Laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Giving 100 all my all, cause we just cannot be defeated. We are unstoppable, immune and invulnerable. Ready ang equipment, lahat frozen, malang crowd control. Pakita ko na jab like pow, east to the southeast. So matawag proud and loud, cause every enemy we devour. Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas, tagumpay natin to, dahil tayo'y malakas para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas, kasi kami ang malakas para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras, kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow! Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas. Kahit anong lane, we become the monsters. Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas. Face the golden sun and repping for the 3 stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, be the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, we the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, we the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, reunite, we the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
The 14th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 14. The official tournament phone of MPL Philippines, Infinix GT20 Pro. Partner in esports, Maya. Official supplier, EMC Asia and Index Salon. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPLPH on TikTok for more content. Experience the Lakas ng Pinas playoffs of MPLPH Season 14 action live at Green Sun Hotel. Grab your tickets now via official MPLPH website. You can also get a chance to win 1,000 diamonds by sharing your hashtag MPLS14 live experience on Facebook and TikTok. And to ensure the equality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusements Board.
Mga natitira at sa unang beses nasasali sa MPL, Aurora diretso sa F6, diretso din sa
Best of the best teams have been decided. They fought with passion and determination, game after game, minute after minute, eliminating their opponents to stand here today as your MPL Philippines Season 14 Grand Finalists. Oras na para itanghal natin ang pinakamalakas sa Pinas!
Introducing the EXP Laners! For Fnatic Onic Philippines, the Young Buck, Kirk! For Aurora, it's Mr. Consistent, Edward! The Jungler for Fnatic Onic Philippines, the Beast, King Kong! And his opponent, the Smiling Demon, Demonkite! In the mid lane for Fnatic Onic Philippines, the the Monster Mage Super Friends.
For Aurora, say it with me, UA!
In the room for Fnatic Onic Philippines, the Bruiser, Brusco!
The one and only Hitman, Radici!
And you know who he is, the gold standard, Kara!
The future is bright for the next standard, Doming!
And their coaches for Fnatic Onic Philippines, Coach Why Not and Coach Hayes.
For Aurora, it's Coach Dexter and Coach Master the Basics.
This is Fnatic Onic Philippines versus Aurora!
Let the grand finals begin!
This is the dawn of a new era. For the first time since Season 9, the grand finalists and M-Series representatives are not Blacklist, Falcons, AP Bren, or Team Liquid Philippines. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. One of these players, one of these teams are coming out today with a big trophy for Season 14.
The perfect way to introduce the new era. The reminder that world champions fall in the home of champions. Fnatic Onic Philippines and Aurora will be the standard bearers. But before we take on the world, we have to determine who the strongest team in the home of champions is.
And this just proves that the home of champions does belong to this region, because looking at the history, finally, two different teams are going to face off in the grand finals, and two different teams will be representing the Philippines.
This is a completely unprecedented. Relatively newer teams here are now on the precipice of becoming the champions, and again, one of the most competitive MLBB regions in the whole world. And they have done it in style.
We've gone through an era of the agents, the orcas, the beasts, and the cavalry in a storming debut for when Team Liquid finally made their home here in MPL Philippines. But now it's Fnatic Onic Philippines and Aurora, a new team themselves filled with veterans, and one of them will be joining a stellar cast of champions.
The light just keeps getting brighter and brighter for the Northern Lions, as well as the thunder and lightning of the Sonics.
And now we are about to witness a pretty epic battle. I know everyone, every single one of you watching have already thrown down your predictions for this one. Honestly, very dominant start here for Fnatic Onic Philippines. They went through the regular season with just guns a-blazing. They went into playoffs with a lot of doubts from other people, but you know what? They have proven them all wrong.
Wow, these two really, who would have thought that we'd actually be getting Fnatic Onic Philippines making it this far, being the team to set the newest, longest win streak record in MPL Philippines history, almost going undefeated, going up against a team that had a lot of questions, that had the super team name branded on them, but it took a while for them to be able to live up nearly to it. Here they are now in the grand finals.
And despite all that, you know, Aurora, we've been saying that chemistry is always key to victory. That consistency is always key. But Aurora just keeps on showing that no matter if they're just a debuting team, they can take on the Giants, the Titans. And they did make TLPH and Falcons AP Bren bleed in the playoffs.
That's right. Welcome here to the Infinix Game Tambayan, and brought to you by the Infinix GT20 Pro, the official tournament phone of MPL Philippines Season 14. And now we are about to enter the battlefield. By the way, Rockhart, Renmar, and Ingan here to bring you all the action live and alive right here at Green Sun Hotel in Makati City. And now, I can't imagine a better setup here. I can't imagine a bigger story. We have so many stories that are happening right here, right now. Of course, we do also have Leo and Naisu there on the caster desk. They will be giving you the action when it unfolds later on. We're about to get into game one soon.
Hello.
We can talk to them. That's cool.
You just can't see us very well, but hi.
I can't wait. This is going to be, for sure, I think England would know this is a 7-game series.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a 7-game series. The last time that they met, it was a sweep. But I think I'm confident enough that if this doesn't go to Game 7, Renmar will cut his hair.
Sure. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I can't actually do that.
Yeah,
okay. I'll do it. I'll show you. If this doesn't go to 7 games, I'll shave my head right at the end of the season.
Right there.
To show you how it's done, young butt.
Can I go?
No, man, we still have a
So,
best of 7.
We got all bets are off, all gloves are off, and we are getting into the nitty-gritty of these storylines. And again, Leo and Naisu are ready there. They're just roaring as well. I saw them getting like so hyped up for this matchup.
Yep.
And right now, this is Fnatic Onic Philippines. Once more, the deadliest of the bunch. Probably achieving the unthinkable here coming in this season.
Yep.
And of course,
Kirk and Brusco had to join Super Friends, King Kong, and Kelra already determined and were able to form their chemistry last season, and they injected that super family vibes into them, and they meshed really well. Aurora MLBB with you, Edward and Renegade with getting experience already in the world stage in Blacklist International. Demon Kite comes in with his veterancy, an MSC champion, long-time player for RSG, and Domeng. They were somehow able to mesh it all together as well.
And looking at these stats, it's obviously dominated by Fnatic Onic Philippines, again going undefeated in the regular season, only one series defeat against Omega, and going to the playoffs dominating. But again, we can't disregard or discredit what Aurora has gone through to the playoffs. Again, beating TOPH, beating Falcons AP Bren, and potentially beating the Sonics.
here's a head-to-head here for our competitors. Definitely have some of their own strengths and weaknesses here coming into this one. And I feel like the KDA of Kirk just can't really be beat that much. So consistent right now. And again, he is up against Mr. Consistency himself. So that's actually saying something.
Yep. M3, M4, M5, now going to be in M6 is Edward. So that's what Kirk has to face. But the most impressive thing about Kirk is he's been playing like he's been in multiple international championships. This is the first season that Kirk really stood out. And now I'm so excited to see his matchup up against Edward, how well they fare in terms of affecting the rest of the map.
Yes, and King Kong, of course, for Demon Kite as well. You're going to have to really find out who's the sharpest blade, because right now King Kong with that 8.13 KDA does not tell lies.
Yeah, the Beast, of course, the regular season MVP. One of those junglers that do have a lot of maniacs coming into the season. Who could forget the Lings, the Fannies that King Kong has been using. And on the other hand, Demon Kite, one of the glue guys of Aurora, making sure that the stability of this team is intact.
And of course, in the mid lane, no doubt about it, it does feel like Super Prince has become the quiet and very much core / glue of Onic Philippines, keeping it together even in times where Onic does feel like they could lose.
This is the center point of the drafts that I'm going to be looking for. What is the mid lane matchup? Glue guys is an understatement for how much Super Friends and you affect their lineup. But these two, who will get the Cho? Who will get the Tigreal? Or maybe who will show up with a more unique and crazier roam pick? The wild cards of both of these teams, the Bruiser and the Hitman.
And if you're going to look at the similar heroes, every single time the graphics change, it's the same.
Those two.
And if you're going to recall a lot of highlights from the regular season, it's always coming from these two, the Tigreals, the Chos, and of course,
that's right,
the gold standard Kelra going up against the next standard Domeng.
Again, we're talking about swords earlier. Get your guns ready as well. Kelra and Domeng. Beatrix is their basically trump card if all else fails. Harif doesn't get picked up, Moskov doesn't get picked up, so watch out for that as well.
who will get the Beatrix. And I'm glad that you also mentioned the Harith and the Moskov. As we look for the last time this season, the Infinix keys to victory for both of these two teams. It's simple, but there's so many layers to it. Unleash the hero within.
And this is not just the actual heroes in MLBB. They are all heroes in their own respect, their own rights, and of course in their own fields. Obviously, everyone else is just roaring and gunning for that trophy. But then again, they have different approaches to it as well.
Yeah, of course, they know their specific roles, even down to their monikers. I mean, the Hitman making sure to get those catches, the Bruiser soaking up the damage, and who could forget King Kong, the Beast. Are we settling with the Beast or the Beast incarnate?
Let's go with the Beast.
The Beast, King Kong.
That's right. We are live here in Green Sun. It's packed all the way to the brim here. And of course, we have watch parties happening all over the Philippines as well, and the world. Big shout out to all of our restreamers that are live right now on different platforms. We got people on TikTok, we got people on Facebook, we got people on YouTube, and everywhere in between, waiting patiently for the finals champion.
Whoa!
We have a selection for our game here. Blue side is going to be picked up by Fnatic Onic Philippines. We talk about whenever they pick blue side, 85% of the time, they get it done.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to be looking out here for is if they're going to decide to pick up their EXP roam flexes early. There's one pick shared between these two that is just so powerful. For Kirk and for Edward, are they actually going to be racing for the Edith?
The Edith actually was highlighted as well earlier when they were making an entry. And a lot of people online also kind of point towards the Edith. Right now, such a winning hero for Kirk. I think about 10 out of 13 times he does get it done, as well as Edward, very close by with that stat line. So we're going into it, guys. It is Game 1 draft here between Aurora MLBB and Fnatic Onic Philippines. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
You know, gentlemen, I have to admit, going into this, I had a killer headache, but then I realized it's because I was running draft simulations in my head, and going through all of the possibilities, my head hurt like crazy. FNOP, you have the power picks available for you. Suyo is wide open for King Kong to take.
That's right. Suyo obviously is the big question here, whether or not Suyo can is gonna get countered out. So far, no one has actually answered that yet. No, there's no straight up answer for the Suyo, more of the soft picks.
Yeah, I think if ever Fnatic decides to go for the Suyo, Master of the Basics of the squad of Aurora can go for that patented Mathilda Alpha that they've been using to get out. Oh, but the Mathilda has been banned out. Okay.
Yeah, I believe this could be a Harith Edith if they're going to rush their side laners already. But usually the tendency of RORA is that they'll... Actually, no, they go for the roamers a little bit later, but I would understand if they want to take away the Cho or the Tigreal already away from Brusco. But I think high consideration for the Edith or the Phoveus to be prioritized here.
Yeah, the Edith obviously is not going to do anything bad here for Aurora. The Leophobius? No!
Oh.
They go for Eve right away. Yue coming in here with a pick that... I don't know, it's so hard to actually quantify for Yue here, Renmar.
Yeah, Rush, they had to respect the mid of Super Prince, or the Yue. Well, the Yue of Super Prince, the Eve, rather, of Super Prince, excuse me, that has had a stellar record so far, undefeated this season. So, of course, Brusco, with it open, he goes ahead and picks up the Cho. So, Kellera, are you going to pick up the Harith here to fight under the real-world manipulation?
It does feel like a bit of a different scenario if you... It feels different that Yue is holding the Eve overall, right? So I wonder what they're thinking here, Ian.
Oh! Okay, so they go for the Valentina, one of the usual heroes that could go head-to-head with the Eve in the hands of Super Friends. So right now, they're not focusing on the gold lane because, again, the availability of the Harith is still there. But for Master of the Basics and the squad of Aurora, what do you go with right now?
They actually turned off the Tigreal for Renegade, but Renegade has a wide hero pool that they can go for. It's not that they cannot go for it. They can just delay it, or they think twice about it because the Valentina can steal away the ultimate of the Tig. So Aurora will fall into their Alpha that they've been playing a lot, which means that this opens up the possibility of us seeing the heal man options later on. You'll still have to consider the Rafaela as a great pickup for Aurora, and maybe they might even surprise us and go with an Angela.
And in my draft simulations in my brain, It's very, very likely as well. I feel like the Rafaela is a bit underrated, especially in scenarios where you have a def box.
Yeah.
You want to kind of initialize with your teammates, and the rest of you want also the follow-up with the alpha, right?
Yeah.
So that deadly combo can chase people down very hard.
Yeah, gentlemen, one thing to add here, the Rafaela and Angela for Renegade this season is actually both undefeated. He's 2-0 for both of those heroes.
Undefeated.
That's right.
And that's considering that he went up against Falcons AP Bren using the Rafaela, so
Yeah.
you know it. He means business.
The opponents of those two heroes right now are definitely champions in their own rights, right? So who knows? But right now, in terms of frontline, I feel like Aurora has a pretty good 2 at least for now for the Alpha and the Edith. But their damage department is mostly the OT. I don't see any burst here yet for Aurora.
Yeah, the closest thing they have to a burst is if ever Demon Cat can actually get a nice early game going on for him. If that Alpha doesn't get the early game that he wants or doesn't have a Rafaela or most importantly an Angelo that can supplement a good power spike, then yeah, they're lacking the damage right now. So burst, I think, might be the key for their gold laner pick later on.
And they also need that to take out Suyo, because if you don't burst down Suyo early on, if you just DOT Suyo, he can dash out so easily. He has iframes as well to dodge out these kills.
Yeah, and apart from that, imagine if King Kong just dominates the early game with the kits that Suyo has. For sure, he's going to get the neutral objectives, first 2 turtles. And we all know when you get the first 2 turtles, it's almost an easy snowball game for the respective team that secures the neutral objectives.
Harith or Moskov available for Domeng in terms of his usual go-to pickups here. So he goes for the Harith. Kelra, will it be the Beatrix or the Moskov as his pick? What are the chances, though, that maybe if Fnatic Onic Philippines are comfortable with it, they might actually pack a gold lane Alice? However, that's going to be a gold lane Alice lacking the supplement that it needs. I'm thinking about the Angela combo that we usually see with the Alice.
I really like the range here that you can get from Moskov or Beatrix, because you don't want to play up close and personal with the real world, right? You want to play around it. And if your range is limited, you might encounter problems, especially in the big team fights.
Needs to be a strong, tanky EXP laner for Fnatic Onic Philippines here. If ever they want to go offensive, there's actually a CC option for Kirk, but this might fall into a Terizla. Oh, Lunox! Okay, yeah, they fall into the classic matchup, and that's an Arlot for Kirk.
All right, they go for the spicier options.
Yeah, very spicy.
We were talking about like the safe ones. Onyx says, no, we want to fight now.
Man, this is scary. I mean, the potential catch that Fnatic Onic just has right now, even the first skill of Suyo can be enough to, you know, isolate Domeng during clashes, make him go out of his Zaman Force, even play out of the box of you as real-world manipulation. So right now, they're just lacking a potential roamer that Renegade has.
They can go heal man here, actually, if they want to. Is it?
Rafaela? No?
Ruby. Okay. So the Ruby for the Kurt and for the Arlot and the Cho. However, giving the ultimate of the Ruby to the Valentina is quite concerning.
It's not the most prolific hero for Renegade, but you know what? I'm not gonna knock it. We've been given surprises yesterday. We've been given surprises on day 3, even all the way to day 1.
This is his 18th unique hero. Renegade hasn't played Ruby at all this season. This is his first Ruby game, surprisingly enough.
We'll have to find out if that does work out. What are you thinking?
I mean, based on yesterday, the index draft doesn't tell the whole story. It's been broken by Aurora despite Falcons AB Brent's draft. So let's see what's gonna happen.
Over and over again, time will tell who gets game 1. The momentum is crucial. Leo and Naisu are in the field.
Things are about to get elemental as deafening thunder and blinding lights usher in a new age of Filipino MLBB. Welcome to Game 1.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
Let's go.
Joseph, how you reckon that draft go?
Oh, man, you know what? There's a lot of, I guess, now that we've been 4 days through the playoffs, this is looking familiar, right, for a lot of the cases here, and I love how the panel kind of broke things down because there's a lot of contingencies with both the lineups and how they play out the early game, I would say. But I think a big part of this, too, again, is how Brusco utilizes the Cho here early on.
The Bruiser, as he's dubbed, unable to be killed, yet still just running through opponents' formations. I'm surprised that Renegade has 17 heroes now.
17?
I did not expect for him to not have played the Ruby.
Man, I remember when he had, in the regular season, he had like, what, 11, I think he had? And everybody was like, yeah, and everyone's like, whoa, talk about a hero pool. And right now, yeah, he brings out the Ruby in the roam here. So this could actually play a really good role in playing around the real-world manipulation of UA.
Something else to note, while the action is rather mum in the land of Dawn, check out Super Prince's talent. That is indeed a Brave Smite on a Valentina, which again, all throughout the regular season, y'all know the story. Valentina, eat it Valentina. I think this is just him telegraphing that, hey, I'm gonna steal some ults and turn into different heroes that might need me to use the Brave Smite.
I could see that working. This, I don't know, have we actually seen this ever? Like before? Like, is this a new thing?
It's pretty new to me.
I was gonna say it's new to me, but yeah, it makes sense too because it might be enough to extend the fight. Renegade taking quite a few hits here. Has to flicker out. They're going to jump in. Edward goes in with a flicker himself, and now the breakout of the fight. Edward in trouble as King Kong gets the first blood. Still looking for more as well in the mid lane. Kirk goes down, but there's the clap back from UA. But here's Super Prince. Does UA get away? There's the flicker in. Not able to cap it out because of the shield through.
That is disrespect. Did you see how Super Prince got his real-world manipulation before UA did?
Yeah.
And all throughout, the Beast just coming in, getting the job done, taking the turtle for Fnatic Onic. I'm still not over it. I'm like, wait, why isn't UA? Oh, it's because he's still at level 3.
Still at level 3. And that's, honestly, any time there's a Valentina, that's always the, I guess it's the way of like showing the flex in a way because usually you get that level 4 early on.
Uh-oh.
Bruce's going to go ahead and go with a defensive kick, but oh, no!
What? Wait,
Flickers out,
no,
but he might be able to escape. Does he actually pull this off even after the blunder? He still survives, Leo.
The Bruiser walks. The Bruiser walks. 9 out of 10 times you fail a flicker like that,
you're done.
You're done.
Not today for the Bruiser.
You put your phone down.
Yeah, man. Good thing he did in that time, but good that he gets out with his life. So things are still pretty calm and even here. Again, equal across the board, really.
3 minutes in, macro-wise, Aurora keeping up with Fnatic Onic's aggression. It's costing the Sonics, though. Given how deep in Brusco is going with very little returns as far as anything on the map is concerned, just 500 gold is what Fnatic Onic claim from that, especially since they did score the first turtle. Let's talk about this gold lane matchup. Lunox versus Harith, the gold standard versus the next standard. At what point do you think the Harith is going to be, you know what, I don't care.
I don't care, just fight you.
You jump in, because look, Kelra is on a flicker, so he's the more aggressive one.
Yeah.
When is Doming going to say, no, you can't do this to me, Kelra?
You know what? I think after what we've seen Domeng do throughout the playoffs, he's almost willing to go toe-to-toe with Kelra.
Immediately.
Yeah, flicker or not, or lead or not, or wherever he's at, I think Domeng has really gained a form of like confidence, if you will, throughout the playoffs, and he's just got so much better over the season. There's a toss-up through, real-world manipulation, and Kirk out of the picture so quickly. Turtle still for the taken here, started up by RORA, and with member down, looks like FNOP just going to call it off.
Oh, actually, FNOP is going to call for Grand Theft Purple as King Kong takes away DK's purple buff, and now Brusco gets the kick.
Whoa. Brusco kicks again. He's been struggling, you know, this is the thing. He does survive most of the time, but now look at the top side. Kelro might be in trouble here, dropping down, pulled on through. Still going to be surviving, though. UA doesn't have the real-world manipulation, so that looks like all they get here.
Well, I'll be damned, Joseph. You were right. As early as it takes, the next standard, Doming, Jan Del Mundo, going into his first Grand Finals and his first World Championship later on this year, is ready to step toe-to-toe with Kelra.
Man, between those two gold laners, you know, between the entire team, there's so many good points here of history, so many good stories leading into even now for the grand final and then later on for M6.
And look at that gold lead now that Pal Doming has got for himself. 600 up on Kelra. Even guy catches King Kong.
Oh, he's not going to catch him with the Spear of Alpha, though, but King Kong could be in trouble now. Soul Sever not going to be enough as he goes down again. Brusco going in with a kick. Mid lane, still the focus here. Super Prince holding on to the real world manipulation. Domeng, where's he going for Kirk? There's the real world manipulation from Super Prince. on the defense, so they're able to disengage.
The hunter becomes the hunted. Suddenly, Fnatic Onic doing evasive maneuvers. Kelra in trouble, working on that tier 1 up top. Not gonna get stopped. Super Prince at the flank.
The Prince is there. They're gonna go for Renegade. Renegade quite low. Already getting that brilliance out too. Domeng might give this one a go. Trying to find Kelra, Edward, and Yue joining the fight as well. But they don't have enough push on in. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Demon Kite. King Kong gets payback as he picks up a kill on Demon Kite, and they'll pick up the tier 1 on the top side for RORA.
Cross-map feint by Fnatic Onic Philippines. It does cost them a tier 1 up top, but a kill on Demon Kite, that's gotta mean something. Fnatic Onic, so far, they don't look as dominant as they did all season long. It looks like now Aurora have their number. It seems like Aurora have figured out how to get into position first before Fnatic Onic make a play for anything.
That's the thing, you cannot deny the amount of improvement that RORA has had as a team, the way they've adjusted just in the playoffs alone, right? I mean, let's be honest, people were doubting them in the regular season, and now they're going toe-to-toe with the team that had the best record for the regular season. They're holding it together. Looks like they're gonna go for the turtle. There it is. King Kong, though, he'll clean up the turtle, but the fight's gonna break out. King Kong gets taken out. The spear of Demon Kite will be able to find a Super Prince, and they're still looking for more as Kirk in trouble, but they go in trying to turn the tide of the fight. They toss him over. Kelra's out too. It's a wipeout for RORA.
At the cost of just the turtle, Aurora walk away with quite the bargain. I haven't seen Fnatic Onic get wiped out like that in quite a while.
It's been a while. It's been a country minute, man, at this point.
I'd reckon longer. An Infinix instant replay here. Once again, started off strong, and I think just by the principle of being in position first and dropping your key spells before Fnatic Onic can even respond. King Kong, dare I say, let loose. He got too focused on taking the turtle that the long term of that team fight, the outcome, the follow-through, became an afterthought. And that's very rare in Fnatic Onic.
Yeah, he went for that turtle, and this is going back to the question earlier here. Domeng's online, man. He's so confident. He's so ready to fight in these battles. But whether that's around Yue's box, and even Yue himself, I mean, talk about his performance throughout the playoffs and what he did even yesterday. He's doing the same thing here in Game 1.
He's just not online, Joseph. He's on lock.
He's unlocked.
He is cold, and he is a machine.
He's locked in.
2,000 gold now, Aurora. I'd reckon a good 1,000 of that is on Domeng, alone.
Yeah, it's got to be at this point. And between him and Yue, probably.
Well, he's #1 gold earned. Look at it. It's him and DK. So DK's been getting beat up, right?
Yes.
But still, that doesn't stop him from farming up. The fact is he's taking his side of the farm while King Kong is taking his time. Look, King Kong's just about to take a orange buff and a small camp. Look at Aurora's map. Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing to take right now. And this Lord being up here, Leo, they're in a good position. Whoa, whoa! Renegade goes in with a pull. Utilizing the flicker, they're going to go back with a final slash. Fighting into the real world emulation. Everybody getting knocked up into the air, though.
Oh, no.
Demon Kite already down. They're going to jump back on. King Kong gets a double.
Dear God.
Possibly looking for more.
No.
The fight was started by Renegade. Do they want him to get away? King Kong will start up the Lord after a big win for that fight.
And in just a flash, a 3-2 trade. Fnatic Onic Philippines saying not so fast. Suddenly a conversion into a Lord, and now King Kong is going to start stealing buffs. The beast has been unleashed. Here's the Infinix instant replay. How did that happen?
Renegade started that fight. He pulls him on in.
Blasted Brusco.
And then look at that final slash from Kirk. Really able, and then they get rid of the RWM.
That, Aurora gets knocked up. Everyone tastes a fistful of Sever.
Yeah.
And that's an HP-based damage, ladies and gentlemen. The more you lose out of that, the more it hits you. That's why King Kong suddenly got a double, triple out of nowhere.
It's a cone, too, so everybody all stacked up like that, that's just easy pickings for any Suyo.
Was that the hold or the I'd reckon it was the hold.
Had to be, again, that type of fight, Fnatic Onic Philippines is going to feel good about it.
And because of that, King Kong now 1,500 up on Demon Kite. Next up on the to-do list for Fnatic Onic, fix that whole Kelra Domeng situation.
Yeah. At that point, though, I think they're happy enough with this slight swing. I mean, this Lord's going to be cleared up. You know, RORA will hold on to the base turrets, the shields, and everything else, but it shows that even when they were down, Fnatic Onic Philippines is willing to go that fight.
Forgive me, my king, for speaking ill of you. It was not that you did not see through to the follow-up. It's just you were planning way ahead than my puny mind could consider. But, all right, forgive me if I can't let go of the situation. Renegade started the fight, right?
He did.
3 dudes died.
He did.
He didn't.
He did, yeah. The Hitman got away. But yeah, he called that. And you know, you can't even, when you look at that fight and it started up by Renegade like that, that's a good move. But unfortunately, a big part of the damage was lost when UA's real-world manipulation was no more.
Well, 4 out of 5 times, it's the best move.
Yeah.
It just so happened that the 1 out of 5, UA died, Doming wasn't ready to dance, and they got knocked up by the Lord.
Yeah.
And that was all for Fnatic Onic to just take from. You were right, Joseph. It was all UA, it was all Doming, and you take those 2 out of the equation, Aurora can't step toe-to-toe. At least with Fnatic Onic, who is now in control. Up almost 2,000 gold, approaching the 12-minute mark. The next Lord spawning in the lower quarter, about 40 seconds from now, is enhanced. I'd reckon if Fnatic gets this, they're inside the base.
Yeah, they're going to be knocking around the base turrets for sure. You can kind of see, too, you know, getting a glimpse of the player cams, that RORA also probably kind of trying to reset after that. You know, trying to get mentally prepared for this next objective in about 20 seconds here. Looking at the items, though, there's a Divine Glaive picked up now by UA as well.
That, and the gap is closed between Doming and Kelra. So suddenly, this is just net gain for Fnatic Onic.
Yeah.
It's just 1,500 across the board.
Across the board right now, too. You saw, even for Fnatic Onic Philippines, they were able to pick up some key items. Malefic Roar here on King Kong, so if he gets another shot at a Soul Sever like that, or even the Queller, like it's going to do enough poke damage towards RORA. You can see some of the pushing that King Kong's doing across the map right now, so the Lord up for grabs.
Quick tap on the Surge allows him to rotate faster than you can say Surge into the mid lane, clear that up, and get in position for the dance. Over the course of the past week, we've evolved from just shuffling into straight-on dancing.
I was going to say, we're back to the dance, right?
And you don't even need like a hero like Rafaela or Lolita or Estes to make this last. Like, teams are just getting better at controlling Lord's damage output.
It's definitely an evolution, I would say. You know, like, it's not the same old Lord dance anymore. It's a new tune.
It's a new era.
It is a new era.
Of MLBB, and these 2 teams right here putting on a showcase, a clinic for MLBB esports that are not blink.
Here we go. Press it. Brusco goes in with a kick. King Kong will get the Lord, but they look like they still want to fight. Brusco could be in trouble, just sacrificing his body, but Renegade will go for the pull on King Kong. They're still trying to hold him at bay. He's able to escape for now. Kirk goes with a final slash to disengage. A good usage of the final slash from Kirk.
The young buck coming in clutch, saving what's left of his team as Fnatic Onic still secures the Lord, but just by the skin of their teeth. Almost looked perfect, if you ask me, for Brusco's kick, but Aurora's so fast on the punish, and you think Fnatic Onic can do better to like get back on track and say, you know what, maybe we have to choose our targets. Maybe whoever Brusco kicks, Kirk, you hit with the final slash. A -1 here in the situation would be best. Look at this. Look at the collapse. Look at King Kong. Ooh.
He's going all the way around, looking to cut off.
They don't know. They don't know.
Domeng or someone. Final slash going to be used. King Kong waiting patiently. Domeng goes into the bush. Might be in trouble. King Kong will get away. Salmon Force going to be used already. Edward goes down, trying to disengage here for Aurora. Renegade still has an immortality. Takes a shot from the Queller from King Kong. Kelra goes down, though. Setups from Demon Kite comes forward. Brusco able to get away for now. Domeng might be on the hunt, looking for more. The trade, the 1 for 2. Again, King Kong with the Queller shot to keep Domeng at bay.
Final slash deterrent on cue by Kirk, the young buck, pushing back Aurora, giving Fnatic Onic still a small victory. Again, 2 for the price of 1, but if it's the gold standard here, I'd still be a little skittish about that. I'm not too happy, but the map is blue, and that means the Sonics are still in control.
They're in control right now, holding on to a very small lead at that point. The items, too, I mean, even for Kelra, you know, he's getting to where he needs to be. It's just, eventually these fights are going to break out into that push and pull, and we're already seeing a glimpse of it. The one thing that really stands out to me, though, for Fnatic Onic Philippines lineup is how much options they have to either start the fight or disengage it. Like, they have so many things they can do where they can just stop RORA from being overly aggressive and moving forward.
And that's what's explaining why that fight lasted the way it did. It was about a minute of push and pull and back. And I think as soon as Fnatic Onic see that Doming dropped his Zaman Force, that's half of the solution. The other half is the real manipulation, which caused that kill on Kelra. So if Aurora are able to hide the fact that maybe these ults aren't ready yet, or maybe we pop one early and then force FNOP to react a certain way, then they can get back on track.
The whole team fight dance. Brusco using the conceal. It's going to be heard, going to be seen, so I don't think you get anything out of that.
10 seconds until another Lord spawns, lower quarter. Joseph, do you notice what ult Super Prince takes?
Yeah, right now he's taking Renegade's. He's got the offended, right?
Something tells me that might not be the best.
I think he just wants to... Does he still have it? Gotta go. Okay, he does still have it. He's got the I'm offended. He's going with that.
Maybe that's one way to force some ults from Aurora. But I'm guessing they needed something that has a little bit more finishing power, a little bit more oomph, some instant gratification. So maybe find a way to get Edwards, get US.
He's going around the corner. There's the flicker in. They're going to be focusing on Kirk. Kirk's already out of the picture, and Brusco's going to be next. 2 down, but Super Prince on the backside already used it as well. Kelra popping out the damage on Yue. The Lord, it's going to go to King Kong. He's able to grab it and get kills. 4 down for Aurora, and a big objective for FNOP.
It was the right ult all along. A 2 for 4. Fnatic Onic's frontliners take the fall for the bigger picture, the greater good. And now Fnatic Onic knocking in through their doors, mid and bottom.
Renegade in trouble. Immortality, but there's the Queller from King Kong again! And that's going to be enough to cap out the game as Fnatic Onic takes the first game in the series.
Never caught slacking. Fnatic Onic Philippines, some way, somehow, always in control. Despite the odds, despite the difficult situations, despite the swings in net worth. What do they feed these athletes in their boot camp?
I don't know, man, but talk about the patience as well for Fnatic Onic Philippines. This is why they have achieved what they have up to this point. Great showing here. This was a very close game for the most part.
Could have sworn Aurora had it. The early was theirs. I wonder what our analysts in the Infinix Game Tambayan think.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing. It looked really good for Aurora there for a minute. Even in this fight they were supposed to lose, Onic just kept going.
Yeah, it looks like that was a statement from both of these two teams. Drafting-wise, Aurora was able to handle the Lunox up until they couldn't. Kelra was struggling to teamfight for a majority of the game, and they were stopping the rotations that Fnatic Onic Philippines wanted to do, but then FNOP got to crawl back. This is going to be a more closely contested grand finals than a lot of people probably thought.
Yeah, and when it mattered most, you saw Kelra just dominate, kill Doming in the right time when Aurora was focusing up on Kirk and Brusco, and just the last clash, King Kong, man. King Kong, the regular season MVP, the beast!
Yeah, that's why he showed he's a regular season MVP. He just stood there, he waited, was able to deal damage. The retribution of Demon Kite was early, and King Kong got it.
Absolute genius. And again, it doesn't always need to be Onic Philippines in the lead, right?
Yeah.
They play from a deficit even in the exact same way, shape and form, and they actually take the wins.
Yeah, and one thing we have to talk about when it comes to King Kong here is that he was actually the long lane manager. They were playing a 4-1 split for majority of the game.
He was cutting top.
He was cutting top, he was cutting bot. Wherever the Lord is, that's where he's not, because he's clearing the minion wave away from it, and then he'll come join in the Lord fight. That shows the trust in the chemistry of Fnatic Onic Philippines to tell their jungler, manage that wave, will manage the Lord.
Yeah, and it goes to show that the mobility of Suyo is just really unparalleled, unmatched. King Kong really doing a lot during this game, and even down to the third turtle, where in Aurora, you thought Aurora had the driver's seat there, they were in control. But during the first Lord dance like this, the kick coming in from Brusco and the counter-attack coming in from Fnatic Onic, which is too much. Luckily, the knockup was there from the Lord as well.
The knockup from the Lord helped, and there, early retry by Demon Kite.
This is what I was going to talk about. In the first 30 seconds of the fight, it looked like Aurora has 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay, they look like they're gonna win. But what happens in the later parts where it's just Fnatic Onic taking these kills at the very least, at the very end?
One thing we have to discuss here is the Brave Smite on this Valentina. Remember, Brave Smite has that 5% heal with a skill hit happening every 5 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. But she also has her Primal Force passive, wherein if she hits someone that is lower level than her, she heals back 30% of the damage dealt. Usually, that's the EXP laner and the roamer. That's why Super Prince isn't afraid to poke in the front, because he knows that, hey, I have my Brave Smite, I have my passive, there's a good chance when I hit them with my skills, I'll be getting health back if I am brought down.
And I think he built the Blood Wings a bit earlier as well, making sure that you were able to stay in the fight longer, help out, Primal Wrath when you need to, and set for your team.
Yeah, and this was considering the fact that in 12-minute mark, Yue was actually the highest damage dealt for the whole game.